Hello, investors. It's Don Vandenbord, Chief Investment Officer with Revere Asset Management. Today is Tuesday, March 5th, 5:23 p.m. Eastern Time, coming to you from St. Augustine Beach, Florida, with tonight's Revere Market Insight video. State of the market, we're in an uptrend. You can see we've got a two yellow sub arrows to point out today after today's action. Still on the coveted 4 green arrows, but leaders, especially tech leaders, took it on the chin today. Semiconductors and software taken behind the woodshed and beaten severely. For the most part, not NVIDIA, that finished green. And AMD just barely down, but the semiconductor index down 2%, software indexes down anywhere from 2.4 to 3.8%. And we've also got the Dow Jones Industrial Average closing below the 21-day moving average, so yellow sub arrow there also. But the rest of the indexes all trending above their short-term 21-day moving average, medium-term 50-day moving average, and long-term 200-day moving average. So what happened today? This was really the harshest down day, especially for growth leaders, in a while. 2 waves down, so we'll call it a trend down day, although there was a late bounce, last 30 minutes bounced nicely, about 0.5% on the S&P. And that repaired some of the damage. As I mentioned, turned NVIDIA green on the day and AMD barely down, but software really was what took the brunt of it when I say tech leaders. Also had SMCI making a big comeback over $100+ round trip, was down most of the day, but finished green also. Here are the final numbers, the big 7. 6 of the 7 down, again, just NVIDIA positive, and down an average of 1.67%. RG8 down 1.76%, and it was the leading components within that. This is an 8 growth ETF composite. Usually when leaders are doing well, ARK-K and FFTY lead the way. Not today. FFTY down 3.8% and ARK-K down 3.5% within that RG8. S&P 500 opened down 0.4%, was down as much as over 1.5%, but nice late rally, cutting it to just a loss of 1.02%. Equal weight, not bad at all, down 0.46%, and this speaks to some rotation going on to other sectors, as several of the spider sectors were positive and several were barely down on the day. So it wasn't a massive sell-off. It was rotation out of tech into other sectors. NASDAQ 100 down 1.8%, equal weight down 1.5%, Dow down 1%, mid caps put up a pretty good show today, only down 0.32%. Russell 2000 down 1%, Global 6040 down 0.27%, as bond prices up strongly today, meaning yields pulled back, but those yields certainly didn't act as a tailwind for stocks today. In-house GROTECTION down 1.33%. A couple things we had up, a couple things hit hard. So combination of offensive and defensive selling. We'll talk about it when we get in to the tail of the tape, but let's start off with the S&P 500 here. You can see the gap down, close a little bit below mid-range, but below the 8-day exponential moving average, but not even a touch of the 21-day moving average. NASDAQ 100, the low of the day was 10 cents below the 21-day moving average, and then a bounce. You can see it up a little bit after hours as CrowdStrike, one of our top 4 holdings, putting in a great, really fantastic earnings report and an even better reaction. It's up, approaching 20%. So that'll be nice tomorrow. But for now, that's a nice line in the sand for the Qs, holding the 21-day moving average, gives a low risk entry to trade against. Dow, on the other hand, broke below the 21-day moving average. Dow has been a relative strength laggard for months, as tech has been leading this rally, and the Dow is obviously not tech heavy. Mid caps, MDY, not bad at all. Pullback, didn't even touch the 8-day exponential moving average, just down 1/3%. And small caps put up a fight. Undercut but reclaimed the 8-day exponential moving average. So 2 days down now, but this was after 6 out of 7 days up and breaking out of this flat base, but a gentle pullback into the base. Nothing to be concerned about now, as long as we stay above the 80 MA, obviously, and more importantly, the 21-day moving average. Give it a little bit of room. We do own TNA, but we do want to see buyers come in at some point, and it did benefit from a regional bank bounce today. The VIX, as you can imagine, was up strong today, but off the highs. It popped above 15 in the 200-day moving average, closed at 1446, back above the 21, but below the 15 level. So kind of a mixed bag there. Don't get everything that you want in the market, obviously. Here's the dollar, just barely down today, 0.05%. Since gold and silver have been having a little bit of a rally. We'll talk about them. Silver down, made a higher high, but then reversed. Gold made a higher high, closed positive, but near the bottom of the range. So that's 2 straight gaps and 3 out of 4 gaps up for gold. We do have to be concerned about the dollar is now oversold on us from a stochastic standpoint, but uh, that hasn't mattered the last 3 days. You can see the volume buying in GLD right there. And GDX, gold stocks, another gap up, ran into the declining 200-day moving average, closed at the bottom of the range, but still up 0.53%. Bitcoin, this is the big one. BITO made a higher high and then a big, and I mean big, negative reversal. Down 8.6% on the day. Undercut. It was worse. We undercut, but actually reclaimed the 8-day exponential moving average. When we started reversing on this, we locked in the rest of our gains. It was about a 50% gain on that small piece that we had left. And we will look to re-enter this at an optimal risk reward. But that was the new high. Was obviously a sell the news event today. Now bond prices up across the board, gap up closing near the top of the range. There's the broad index BND, TLT, the long bond above the 250-day moving average now, and yields down, making 2-3 week lows, down 1.84%, and on the 10-year, down 1.94%. So as I said, 3-week lows on yields. That's our interasset correlation. Let's go to the tail of the tape. 4 pieces of news I mentioned: gold all-time high, Bitcoin all-time high, then a hard reversal. Yields down across the board. Don't know if it was really a flight to safety today, but money flowing into bonds before the market even opened, and then we had a gap down on the indexes. And Apple was down off the lows, but still down 2.8% today. As the bad news keeps coming, this time their China sales extremely poor is the report. Day count, first day down, first day below the 8-day exponential moving average, still 40th day above the 21-day moving average on the S&P 500. Individual sectors strong were oils, financials, and staples, regional banks, gold and gold stocks. On the downside, tech, XLK, semiconductors, and especially software, IGV, cloud, and cyber. So in-house, we trimmed some crowd into earnings. Still going to get some nice gains out of the remainder of our position today. We'll take a look at that chart in a moment. We also trimmed some Uber as it broke below the 8-day EMA for the first time since its earnings report. And then IBIT, call it offensive selling there. SMCI, hard reversal. We sold that just above break even. LabU, 14% gain on that. As that started selling off along with the indexes and stopped out on Square. So the bottom line on the day, 2 waves down intraday, but a late rally. Tech leaders hit extremely hard. We'll see if CrowdStrike changes that perception tomorrow, as it's very clearly the last remaining software security leader, as their guidance was fantastic along with their results. NASDAQ touched and bounced at the 21-day moving average. That's the NASDAQ 100. Dow closed below the 21-day moving average. Let's get to some charts here, and we'll start off with CrowdStrike. So where are we now? We're at all-time highs after hours, up 26%. That's a beautiful thing to see. Apparently no bad news in their report, but this has been, We did three bits of selling on this. We sold some in the 330s, some in the 320s, and then some today. And when it broke the 50-day moving average, so that was around 292-ish. And now what was happening is just some really bad software earnings reactions, and it seems like some people got spooked. You can see the volume selling on this leading into it, but look at the EPS that was reported, 102% EPS gains. Okay, I'll take that. I'll also take the 26% gain tomorrow, and we'll look to add to the position uh, should any low risk entries come up. So CrowdStrike looking pretty good. NVIDIA, just a beast. No give back. Positive on a very weak day for tech in the market. Same thing with AMD, and I'm kind of going through the portfolio here now. Undercut at reclaim the 200 level and up 1% after hours. Uber's what we trimmed. Locked some profits in on this when it broke below the 8-day exponential moving average and was selling off. So we locked some gains in on that. Nothing major on the other holdings. We'll talk about the sales. So Square breaking back below the 8. That was the final straw. I talked yesterday about how we were giving it one more day, but not showing any strength since its earnings report, where it tried to break out and reversed. LabU, LABU, we actually trade this based on XBI, and that broke below the 8-day exponential moving average, and the market was pulling in, and we booked our gains on that, as well as IBIT when the big negative reversal started to happen in Bitcoin. Some standouts on the day: Airbnb, barely down, actually up on the day, bouncing at the 8-day exponential moving average. Doing a little bit of a 4-day rest here after getting above and back below and playing around with this pivot here for this base that's showing. What else was strong today? How about CEG? This is a utility uranium provider. Up on the day, off the lows, but great reaction after its earnings report. NXT, solar stock, holding the 21-day moving average. Ralph Lauren, we own this, had a good day. Outside positive reversal day. First undercut yesterday's low, then made higher highs. NRGU, we still own this. Decent day today. Weatherford was green most of the day. Energy pulled back a little bit late day, but still holding the exponential moving average. We still own this. And Lilly. I think that's everything in the portfolio, down 2% today, but still holding the 8-day exponential moving average. Let me get a quick look. Oh, Nutanix, reasonable pullback here after 3 days up. We'll be looking to add more to this as it's data center related. And I think that is going to wrap it. Does anything else jump out at me? I don't believe it does. DraftKings down 5% today, but still holding the 21-day moving average. As always, I'd like to hear from you. The email is don@revereasset.com, or leave a comment on our YouTube channel. Phone's 855-REAL-WEALTH. That's 855-732-5932. Our flagship portfolio is named GROTECTION because we have a dual focus: grow assets during uptrends, protect them during downtrends. If you're interested in this, by all means, reach out to us. And with that, I'll wrap it up for the video ending Tuesday, March 5th. This is Don Vandenbord with Revere Asset Management, telling it like it is. Thanks for listening and have a great day.